This is recording 648. So in the news, I see 19 people dead or missing after a massive blast at Tennessee military explosive plant, officials say. All right, so you obviously can see how she's using Tennessee. So you also want Elliot Ness. You also see, then she's also using knee. And then obviously she's also using 10. And then she's also turning the N into a W. And she's going with the gun. She's going pew, pew. She's the, the bitches that go, thank you, and blow on guns and AI and mental telepathy. That'd be these bitches that committed this crime. So also, she pretended two different things here. She pretended a couple of different things here. I'll explain this to you. I mean, at least everybody has this narrowed to who all of these terrorist bitches are, and their terror hub is right here in Tulsa. And their leader who did this is Gene Jernigan Roberts. So, okay, so they're also using Arrested Development, because that's a song that's on my playlist. And she tried to tear up Arrested Development's music. I told you how she tears up music. She tried to tear up Arrested Development's music when I lived in Slidell. But I was in the middle of like decoding and just learning everything, and like every little thing she did to me and my brain or body, every lie she told, every assault, every abuse, like everything was like getting to me, because I'm like, it was just discovering how she committed all these crimes. I was in the middle of holding back tears 24 hours a day and freaking out. Now I'm a lot stronger, and now I know the whole world knows that Navy Gal 27 and her Charles Manson occult have committed these crimes. So anyway, I put Arrested Development back on my playlist. So she's using that. So she's pretending that she's a spokesperson, Mrs. Ku Klux Klan. She's pretending that she's a spokesperson for Black people, and that Black people are Arrested Development is a Black artist group, and that I'm not supposed to listen to hip hop because her Ku Klux Klan ass has decided that that's the way it should be. Just like today, she tried to tell freaking lies and they busted her fucking dumb ass. She was on with a bunch of rich people and then trying to show off telling lies. And then, I mean, she's just stupid as fuck. But they came on and told me, just because it seems like they're on with her doesn't mean they're with her. So, no, Gene, they don't know. So anyway, okay, so it was that Accurate Energetic Systems. Okay, so then you got the energy. And she had 2 fraud tours at the Department of Energy. And then Accurate, she can't go anywhere without pretending to be me, or pretending to be my mother, or pretending to be someone else she's assaulted since they were born, or pretending to be their mother. So she's doing a shout out of Acura, the car, which is what her mom's car was. She's just as obsessed with Acuras as she is obsessed with Novas, because that's what my mom drove when I was little. And she tries to tear up anything about me or my family. She tries to say that she's me. And she's like, people said today, you're sick, Gene. I mean, there's no more words here. She's beyond deranged. You think that little of your son Jesse and your daughter-in-law Francesca, which we already know that because she sold the shit out of him and she assaulted Jesse and everyone knows it. See all previous recordings. But you think so little of your children that you would steal my identity and my life and my childhood and globe and say you're me? Slapping your own family in the face? Like they mean that little to you, but she wouldn't be doing what she's doing if they meant anything to her. A little while ago when I was outside, she goes, tell my children I'm dead. She's going to play what I say and clip stitch what I say. But people listen to my recordings in full, so they know I'm talking about Jean, even though Jean will clip stitch it and go, Christina said this, da da da. No. She goes, tell my children I'm dead. It is really that bad, is what she said. And then somebody said, she only has one son. His name is Jesse. And then someone said, no, she's got one son named Jesse, but she's got a whole bunch of kids underground too, which she does. So, anyway, so then you can see the C is spelled backwards. And then she also used, I'm not going to tear up Acura. I mean, I want to tell you what else Jean did. No, you should say what else Jean did. Because she tears up your mom and the car your mom drove. I mean, look what she did look what she's done around the city. Look at the lies she says about you, Christina. But anyway, she turned Acura's logo into toenail clippers a long freaking time ago. And then she tried to shrink them into little teeny tiny baby sounding toenail clippers. Well, I still see the big gigantic toenail clippers of the logo. Jean did that to Acura's logo. And I think she made like dirty deals with them or tried to sucker them and getting their ad placement on Roku. And I was like, oh my God, if Acura only knew that they made deals with a goddamn gunny sacking, child molesting terrorist. But anyway, so, okay, so she committed this crime. So I'm going to continue on here. I'm going to keep this open here. I've got more to report. So last night I made a recording decoding her kidnapping and taking Casey Anthony's daughter's life, and also Jessica McClure. Okay, and also Natalie Holloway. Okay, so this is continued. And then Children of the Corn. Okay, so this is all continued. Okay, so people listen to my recording, and there's things that people pointed out to me today while I was at work. And I was like, oh my God, let me write this down before I forget it. And as I'm writing it down, I start decoding a flood more. I mean, it just was like boom, 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 boom. So, okay. So, all right. AIW 1976, when we lived on 11th or 12th Street. Okay. My swing set. Okay. The blue swing. Remember, it was a short metal blue swing shaped like a U. Okay. So note the swing was blue. It's shaped like a well, which that would go to Jessica McClure. So that's her future planning also, or planning or plotting of doing that to Jessica McClure in the future. And then the blue also goes to the pool. Okay. And then also when she robot controlled my body and she walked me into the swing, She bashed my incisors in, my teeth in. Okay, and my mouth was all bloody. So pool of blood. So that also links to suicidal tendencies, who she used as a theme of hers when I was in grade school, and I decoded all that out when my friend Kirsten, and that really was her name, Kirsten, see all recordings, did a penny drop. They called it a suicide drop. Did a penny drop or a suicide drop from the monkey bars and cracked her head open. Okay, so all that goes to her planning to do the World Trade Center attack, her stalking the shit out of me, her stalking the shit out of my friends, and her wanting to blame it all on punk rock and rap. She used a lot of, that starts really early on, because what she did to CBGB's, and then what she did to Studio 54, and everybody knows 9 is Jean's favorite number, and everybody knows 9 is everybody else's favorite number. So Jean won't be getting away with anything. But anyway, so that goes to, because when she's using rock and rap, okay, she's pretending to be young, okay, and when I was a little kid, she had to be like, what, in her 20s or 30s, okay, so she was younger then, but now, like, she's 78 years old, so she would have been, but it started way back then, the hate against disco music. And then that's when rap music was first starting to come up on the scene. Okay, so she's even using the suicidal tendencies back then to act like she's some rock star out to just kill disco. Even that, the monkey bars is like the disco ball, which I already decoded a lot on the disco ball. But I mean, even that. So see all code on all of that. So she's using suicidal pool of blood, suicidal tendencies, and the song is, I saw your mother and your mother's dead. I saw her lying in a pool of blood. And the way I always remembered it was a pool of bread. And then later on I learned it's pool of blood, because you're supposed to remember both ways, because that's how she wanted you to remember. So either way, you know what she got away with. And by the way, bread is a 70s cool hit, like soft rock band. Okay, so then, okay, so this also connects to the pool of blood. So that also connects to her and her doing that stunt on me on the front porch, ice raping me and all my little friends, and her doing a reenactment of the pig blood from the movie Carrie, where she's ice raping my little friends to dump water on me on the front porch in my dress. It was a brand new dress that I got from my grandma, and she dumped the water on me, and she's like, and then it also connects to when she ice raped me when I was little to dump nail polish all over the bathroom. So she was doing her little reenactment of her death to pigs scene. So that also connects this again. That proves, and she's surging my stomach. Look, we're all victims of you, Jean. You're not going to run off to Casey Anthony or Casey Anthony's family, or again to Jessica McClure's family, or to anybody else you've been out ass kissing to, trying to cover your fucking ass when you committed these crimes. You stalked us all. We've all suffered deaths in our family at your hands. 119 Jerry Street, Milton, Florida. Email address navygal27@yahoo.com. So anyway, okay, so that connects. That also connects to Death to Pigs. And then that later on connects in the future to the 90s when I lived at 106 Mockingbird and our pool bursting in the backyard. We were doing whirlpool and the slide got caught, and then the pool like exploded and went everywhere. And then, so also my bloody teeth, which goes to Sharp, CL code there, that also goes, so this also all connects in, that also goes to Robert Shapiro. Okay, so CL code on the Kardashians, and also Robert Shapiro and Kanye West and OJ Simpson. Okay, she has stalked the ever living hell out of all of them. And who are the Kardashians missing? They basically lost two dads. They lost Robert Shapiro and they lost Bruce Jenner. She is stalking the holy hell out of all of them. Now, when I decoded for the Kardashians, her stalking them, I decoded so much. And I was like, man, I hope this makes it to the Kardashians. I hope this makes it. She took O.J. Simpson's life. She framed O.J. Okay, I'm summarizing here, but it's like multiple pages I decoded of her committing those murders. Kato Kaelin. That name sounds familiar to go with Casey Anthony too. But she committed those murders. She also framed him when he was charged with breaking in and getting his own trophies back in the casino at Las Vegas. She did that. She ice raped him there, and then she took his life. And she's the one that killed Nicole Brown Simpson. I decoded all of it, several pages of it. So anyway, so specifically on the Kardashians, so the Kardashians' mom, I don't remember what her name is, but the Kardashians' mom, she looks a lot like my mom when my mom was young. Just like Casey Anthony looks a lot like my mom when my mom was young. So you see, this is all linked together. Okay, so anyway, so then OJ, okay, then the orange when I was 3 years old and she used robotic control on me and sliced my finger open. It looks like it's me cutting my own finger open accidentally with a gigantic freaking butcher knife. This is like crazy as hell because we know that Jean Roberts is leader of Charles Manson and she's been having freaking herself and who is a serial killer, and serial killers like ice raping you. Some of you people on Connected in here that keep lying for Jean are the exact same damn people. So anyway, I went to go get an orange. So she sliced she's the one that cut me. It looks like I did it. I was 3 years old, but it wasn't me. I sliced my finger open trying to open an orange, and that goes to blood orange. And blood orange is a real fruit. I decoded all of that out. She has been abusing and stalking me my whole life, including a lot of celebrities and a lot of politicians. So then that obviously connects to OJ. Okay. Then also something they saw in this, and later in the 80s when I went to Red Mountain High School, Mario's best friend, his name was, we had a whole clique of friends. Remember I told you, okay, one of his, all their names are significant. Okay. One of his friends' names, and he went on to move to Denver, and he's like, he does sports medicine. He was a gigantic Broncos fan. His name is Ryan Conover. Okay, so that's connected into this. So then it goes Ryan Conover, then Conair, then Ryan Seacrest, then coronavirus. That shows you how early on her pre-planning, or maybe it was already in manufacturing, to create and emit the coronavirus. Then the Commodores again, that would be AIW 70s. That'd be back again to me. Blue Swing First House. Okay. Then Condor is in it. Then Sea Ray Club is in it. Then Crest is in it. Then Falcon Crest is in it. Then Crest toothpaste, okay? And you know who they're owned by? Procter and Gamble. And you know who did the PG&E wildfires, all the same thing. Gene Roberts is committing all these crimes with her Manson occult. So the American Indian movement, okay, remember AIM toothpaste? Okay, so no, American Indian movement didn't start those fires. Gene Roberts did. Gene Roberts is hooked up with she did the World Trade Center attack. We know she's hooked up with pyros. So Crest is in it, AIM is in it, and then Casey Anthony, okay, and then this, okay, Casey Anthony, and then Anna Nicole Smith. So Anna Nicole Smith is inside Casey Anthony, and then also that her name is Smith, somebody is pointing out, that could go to Smithtown, and also the Smiths is the name of a punk band too. Okay. Then, okay, now moving forward, something else I want to talk to you about. I already reported to you this in previous recordings. There's a movie called The Girl Next Door. And if you're involved in any of this in any capacity, it's worth you watching. You will probably vomit because you will literally see, if you've gotten sucked into Gene Roberts shit, you will see the kind of psychopath maniac that conned and tricked you into doing her shit. And you will see what a diabolical, sick criminal she is. And she committed that crime. That movie is a true story. That is a true story. She committed that crime against that girl, and she committed that crime against all those children. Now, the actual woman that was charged could actually be helping her, or she could have ice raped the woman. But you're going to see Gene Roberts committed that crime, and you're going to see how diabolical Gene is. For 60 years, she's been doing this and much more to babies, children, and adults. So, okay, something else to point out. Okay, so this was brought up to me before, and I don't think I got it out in the recordings. It's in my mind to get it out there, and then I'm like, I forget. She blanks my brain is what she does. Okay. Medgar Evers. Okay. Remember I told you her predecessors took Medgar Evers' life. Okay. She took Malcolm X's life and Martin Luther King Jr.'s life. Her predecessors took Medgar Evers' life. Okay. So I decoded all of this. I figured it all out. And I was given confirmation years ago exactly how Gene Roberts herself went about doing it. Okay. And since then, Gene Roberts, in my brain, depending on who's on, she'll admit to doing it. And then she'll tell me that African Americans forgave her. And then African Americans come on and say, no, African Americans don't even know that you killed them. And why is it that Black people are charged and in prison all their life, and then you, years later, people find out that you did it, and then you sucker people and lie to people into silence, and they're not supposed to expect you to be arrested or to go to jail, and then you're pumping out saying you're forgiven? Who the fuck do you fucking think you are? So anyway, okay, so with Medgar Evers, okay, so something else that was pointed out to me is, okay, Edgar Case, okay, CL code Edgar Case. So that goes to this. And then also Case would also be linked again, Casey Anthony. And then something else that people pointed out, her obsession with using royalty as a theme and killing people. Prince Edward is in this. So, that's it for this recording. That's all I have